So my next big job here is eave troughs, which of course, like most other things, I haven't done before. So the shop has obviously never had eave troughs on it before because it's new. So it's time to figure out how to put them on. Now I'm doing this by myself, which makes it kind of tricky. So there's the downspouts and the troughs themselves. So my plan is to lay a chalk line from one side of the roof to the other, and then install these white brackets down far enough that the eave trough pieces or gutter pieces will sit on top of them, which will allow me to then fasten them into place. So the tricky part, of course, as I was saying, by myself. So these are my extra hands. So there's my first chalk line. I decided to go with a drop of 1 inch. I'm told that you only need 1 inch over 40 feet, and we're going about 25 feet. So won't hurt to give it a little bit extra. Next. And by the way, in case you're wondering, this is to keep the sun off. Because I spend so much time outside, the sun tends to burn the back of my neck and ears and that type of thing pretty readily. So I put a hanky on, and it keeps the sun off and protects me. And helps keep some of the black flies away, which are, again, very thick today. All right, well, that actually works pretty nicely. So for the lap joint, they say to cut back this top edge at least 3 inches. I've got the room, I've got the material, so I'm going to cut back 4 inches. And then this piece will slide inside, or the next piece actually will slide under this ridge. Well, that's pretty messy. I got to find a better way to cut that. But we'll see how it works. All right, let's get the end cap on our first piece. According to the instructions, it doesn't say anything about having to screw it in place. Just put it on with sealant. So let's see how that works. Well, that's got it on. All right, let's put this piece up. So this is definitely a learn as you go experience. So I'm down to putting the last piece in, and I have just put in the hole for the downspout with my hole saw. So I'm ready to put the end cap on and fasten in this downspout nozzle, and then get this last one for this back section mounted into place. Now there's a good joint. I got that one right. We're getting better at this. All right, so here we are with our back run complete. I have the nozzle for the downspout in, but now I have to run the downspout. So the trick with that is my downspout is going to run down in between these two battens along the board, but I need to bring them out. So I've got to cut a couple of pieces for the downspout to run up against that I can fasten them from, and then it's going to run off on a 45 degree off to the side. So let's get the generator started up and we'll get our pieces cut for this. Okay, so I've got my first set of 45 degree elbows put together here, and let's get them up in place. So what I saw on the website was using tin snips to cut these things, but good luck with that. So I'm going with the cutting wheel on my grinder. I think that'll work better. That works way better and way quicker. So there's about my position. So we'll just mark that and get ready to cut the straight downspout. Well, that looks like it's going to do it. So I just have to put my piece in behind the back for the strap and put my screws into it to hold it in place. Okay, there's our strap in. Just need to put a few connecting screws in to hold it together, and this piece is done. So that adds our first piece up, including the downspout. And we've got our little leaf catcher on the inside there. So it looks pretty good. So I've learned a few tricks along the way with this. So the front section should go a lot better, and I'll show you that as I come up to it. There's my first good joint. That one turned out nice. So we're back to work on the eave troughs here. I'm now out to the front of the workshop, and I've got the first 10-foot length up in place there. One of the things I've learned here is a better way of splicing the pieces together. When you go on to the website of the company that makes these, Peak, they show you how to splice the lengths together. But unfortunately, there is a lot of detail that is not there. So I've kind of got that figured out a little better. Following their instructions on the website did not work out too well for me because I think there was just lacking enough detail. So let's have a little closer look at it. So what they show on the website is just cutting this top lip off back about 3 inches. They say a minimum of 3 inches. And the problem that I have with just cutting this off, the two pieces still don't want to go together because this face here is too high to fit inside here. So I have come up with a bit of a different way of doing it. So that's now trimmed off, but what I'm going to do is kind of round this corner and lower this end down a bit with my file, just to make it easier for the two pieces to go together. And then I'm just going to lower this front corner down and round it over. So this piece is now ready to go up. So let's put it up in place and get our next splice done. So that's nice and tidy. Went together real well. So that was that worked perfect. So I got one more short piece to put up on the end of the front here, and then the downspout, and we'll have the front done. This is working out quite nicely now that I'm getting the hang of it. So I've got my last piece here. I have to cut my hole in for my downspout. Now on the back side, I used a hole saw that was the right size, but it wobbled around a fair bit, which ended up cutting the hole a little bit big. So I've gone down one size, which means that this doesn't truly fit, but I'm thinking with the wobble that it will have, it's going to be pretty close. And if I have to grind this hole open a little bit, that's fine. It will give me a closer fit on that. And that's what I'm targeting. That's what we're looking for. Well, there we are. Last piece is up. Next is the downspout. Okay, I think we got it. Just have my strap in on the bottom. And that's got this side finished. Next, we're going to get back to the storage dome for a little bit, see if we can get the frame up in place for it. So there we are. Eave troughing on the shop is now complete. Yes, the second day of doing it has really worked out a lot better. This little scheme or manner I came up with splicing the pieces together really worked well. Now also, I emphasize I am not an installer of eave troughs. This is a learn as you go thing, as I mentioned in the first place. So please don't take any of this as gospel. This is just what worked for me and worked pretty good. So that's it for this video. It's time to move on to the storage dome next. So thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.